Have you ever noticed how some nights you sleep super well, but on others you are constantly waking up, and when you get up in the morning you feel tired? That's because sometimes, without knowing it, you are doing things that hurt your sleep, while other times you are doing things that improve it. So, instead of leaving things to chance, today I bring you 5 tips I learned with Matthew Walker, a sleep expert and the author of one of my favorite books, Why We Sleep, who knows all about what influences the quality of our sleep and how we can improve it. A few caveats before starting. First is that I follow what I preach. I use all the tips in the video and I see great benefits from them. Second is that there is no such thing as perfection, so although I try to apply them every day, sometimes it's just not possible and that's perfectly fine. With that said, let's get started. Tip number 1: avoid intense activities before sleep. For the same reason we don't work out when we are drowsy, we should not sleep when we are energetic or alert. So despite I love sports and to exercise, I highly recommend avoiding it at least 3 hours before bed. To achieve the best sleep quality, our mind needs to be in a relaxed state as well as our body. This will not only help us fall asleep faster, but more importantly to have great sleep quality. And now you ask, what the hell does sleep quality mean? Our sleep is like a washing machine program. There's a set of steps it needs to perform in order to successfully accomplish its job. When we sleep, our body does a series of cleaning tasks, stores our daily learnings, regulates our emotions, and a whole lot of other stuff. Sleep quality means our brain and body are able to go through all the steps and perform them successfully. When we sleep worse, it means some steps were interrupted or skipped. And I must say it's perfectly fine, as long as it is an exception and not the norm. To finalize, the next time you do intense activities close to bed, observe if there's something different in your sleep compared to other nights, like being too alert to fall asleep or having a very light sleep in the first hours of the night. If so, consider doing those activities earlier in the day so you can enjoy a restful night. Tip number 2: relax, then sleep. A few months ago, I came home after a night with friends. It was around midnight and I was very tired, so I went straight to bed. Time passed, but I couldn't sleep. Every time I momentarily fell asleep, I woke up again. 2 hours passed and I wasn't getting anywhere. So I decided to get up and to read a little bit. After reading more or less 15 minutes, I started yawning. I went to bed and poof, I fell asleep and only woke up in the morning. As you already know, the best sleep quality comes when our body and mind are relaxed. So, before bed, seek activities that will help you get there. My favorites are watching Netflix with my wife or to read. Even if only for 15 to 30 minutes, it usually does the trick. There are many activities you can explore, like meditation, listening to calm music, brush your teeth, and so on. Once you start yawning, it means you are ready to bed. Alright, tip number 3: consistent sleep schedule. You probably already heard before that going to bed and waking up at the same time every day is good for your sleep. Now let me explain why. To explain this tip, we need to go back to the Stone Age. A long time ago, the night represented danger, so at the nightfall, men would hide in their caves and sleep. Naturally, our bodies evolved to save energy during this period, which became the ideal time to sleep. As Matt explains in his book, we all have an internal energy that is controlled by our circadian rhythm, an internal clock that controls many things within our body. As you can see in the picture, our internal energy varies during the day. For example, after lunch you can see a small fall in our internal energy. This explains why so many people usually feel less active during that time. But more importantly, you can see that around 8 p.m. our energy starts declining until it reaches its bottom, and slowly starts to rise again after 6 a.m. To achieve the best sleep quality, we should aim to sleep during this window when our energy is the lowest. However, take into account that this alertness chart is different for everyone, and can even change with time depending on your sleep habits. By going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, you are not only taking advantage of the prime time for sleep, but you are also creating a stable circadian rhythm. Of course, this is a best practice and shouldn't be seen as a strict rule, but if you go to bed at a completely different times every day, you now know you may have some room for improvement. Tip number 4. Reduce lights at night. When it is dark, our eyes perceive the absence of light, which signals our brain to produce a hormone called melatonin. This hormone is responsible to make us sleepy, and the more we produce, the best sleep quality we will have. However, the problem is that modern society found a way to transform night into day, with the introduction of artificial lights. Strong lights simulate the sun and signal our brain it is still day, reducing the production of melatonin. Less melatonin, less sleepy we get, and therefore our sleep quality will be lower. To fix it, you should reduce the number of turned on lights in your house to minimum a couple of hours before bed. Yellow lights are also usually preferable than white hospital lights. And also reduce the brightness on your smartphone and iPads. If you don't use them, even better. This may sound super easy to do, but believe me, the benefits are huge. Let your brain know it is night and you will fall asleep faster as well as have a much better quality of sleep. Plus, this also helps regulate your circadian rhythm. Last tip, tip number 5. Set the right temperature. One thing most people disregard is how we all have an ideal temperature to sleep. When we are too hot or too cold, it will be harder to fall asleep as well as affect our sleep quality. This is not the easiest thing to control, but if you can regulate your room temperature, it will be much easier. If not, your bedsheets and what you are wearing should be adapted the best you can. Some people like to sleep warmer, some like colder. Find out which type of person are you and have that in mind when preparing your sleep conditions. I could be here talking about sleep all day because I truly believe that when we prioritize our sleep, we become a better version of ourselves. Thank you for watching, see you on the next video.